Hey y'all, hey. So go ahead and hit that share button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you can know when we are here. Gonna get a couple things going on this side and we'll go from there. Oh, my phone is dying. I don't know if we're gonna make it, y'all. We might not make it. We might not make it. So today we're going to be talking about how to be unfuckwithable. Yes, how to be unfuckwithable. So you definitely want to stay to the end. All right. We don't have everything going here. You know, just when you think you are ahead of the game, there's always something else. I think everybody should be able to hear me now loud and clear. Yes, 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 yes. So, as we always begin, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, love bugs. It is your favorite motivator's favorite motivator, Mimi the Motivator, and this is the Get High on Motivation Show. So welcome back, love bugs. Welcome back. I feel like I miss y'all in between. I feel like we need to do this every day, but who Lord, child. I don't know if I can manage that. And I'm committed to you all and I want to maintain our relationship. So in order to do that, we're going to stick to our once a week until further notice. But I'm happy to be here. If you are a first timer, let me introduce myself. I am Mimi the Motivator, your favorite motivator's favorite motivator. I am a holistic professional development expert. Please forgive me. My tongue is all tied. Maybe I haven't drank enough water. Let me drink some water and some tea. Whew, there we go. All right. So I think I'm ready now. I think I am officially ready for you. So as always, we will have our food for thought and then we'll have our conversation for today, which I'm really excited about. And then we're going to head on out and go on about our day and have a wonderful day. We're going to say a little affirmation for today, but I want you to protect your environment in case there's some little people around who are not used to hearing harsh words or harsh language, adult language, because there is an adult language-ish word that is going to be said quite often today. So be ready for that. All right. So my tea bag says, be guided. Listen to the whispers of the universe. Be guided. Listen to the whispers of the universe. It's so funny because this message has already been coming to my mind. They say if you wake up at about 3 o'clock or around that time, not to go back to sleep is what Wayne Dyer always says. Don't go back to the sleep. Don't go back to sleep because the universe has whispers or something like that. The morning has some secret whispers. But all I know is this has been coming to my mind quite often. And then I pour my tea up this morning, and that's what my tea bag says. So message is definitely for me, for sure, for sure, for sure. So be guided. Be guided. Just stop right there. Be guided. Do you know what it takes to be guided? Think about if you've ever been on like a little tour downtown or you see people going through the jungle and they have a guide. And especially when those movies where they're like in some kind of scary African jungle where it's maybe some big snake or some kind of big monster animals or something that's going to get them. To be guided, they have to trust the guide. They have to entrust their lives with the guide. They have to trust the knowing of the guide. They have to trust the intuition of the guide. You really have to place your hands and surrender to the guide. Surrendering can be challenging in this world. And that's what we really are being called to do, is to surrender. You have to surrender in order to be guided. If you attend a retreat, you got to surrender. It's a hard thing. I just went through it recently. We had a retreat and it was hard for some of my ladies to surrender. Sometimes it's hard for me to surrender and to be guided, especially when I'm used to being the leader. But what every great leader knows is that you have to be able to follow. You have to be willing to be guided. Are you willing to be guided? Are you willing to listen to outside influence for direction, for mentorship? Because that's what mentors do, is they guide you. But think about also a shepherd. A shepherd guides with a rod and a staff. The The rod and the staff both have equal power and equal value, because that hook can hook them back on in. But that staff is when they get a little too out of line, you got and put them back in line. And it's needed. You have to guide with a rod and a staff when you are a leader, and you have to know that. But most importantly, even as a leader, you have to be ready to be guided. Whether you've been guided by your higher power, God, universe, source energy, call it what you want, being guided by the ancestors. But you have to be open to be guided. You have to be open to instruction. You have to be coachable to be a great leader. The next part of my tea bag swag says, listen to the whispers of the universe, because the universe whispers. The universe does not shout. The universe is not rah-rah. The universe whispers to us. It will shout if you don't listen to the whispers, but it typically just whispers in a small, still voice, as you're always told. It's the whispers. It's the something that told you something. Can anybody identify with that? Have you ever heard yourself saying, something told me? Something told me not to go there. Something told me not to. Something told me to. That something is the universe whispering to you. But you have to be able to get quiet to hear the whispers. A lot of us pray, but praying is not listening to the whispers. And I'm sure if you've been listening to this show long enough, you know what I'm about to say. You have to meditate. When we meditate, we get quiet. We start quieting down the chatter in our minds, quieting down some of the conversations in our minds, because that's what's really going on. As they say in the Four Agreements, the metote, it's like a whole marketplace of conversations going on. So it's not that when we meditate that we stop thinking. We don't stop thinking. We just quiet down some of the noise, quiet down some of the chatter, the bickering, because sometimes we're bickering inside of our head. It's ourself against ourself. It's our higher self against our lower self. And that's an opportunity to be guided, because the whispers will guide you. You can be lost somewhere in the middle of nowhere, but if you listen to the whispers, you'll know which way to go. But you have to be trusting. You have to trust the universe. You have to trust your inner GPS system. That is the real guide, is your inner GPS system. And the inner GPS system whispers. It's not real loud like Siri. And I don't know what you call your Android lady. But are you willing to be guided? Are you willing to quiet down? Are you willing to listen to the whispers of the universe? So for those of you joining me by IG, I want to encourage you to hop over to my YouTube channel. Go to mimithemotivator.com, because this phone is dying. I forgot to charge it. My bad. And the charger is way on the other end of the house. So go ahead and hop over to my YouTube channel, so that way you can continue this conversation with me, because I want you to remain with me. So YouTubers, let's get back to it. So today we are talking about how to be unfuckwithable. Every morning on Clubhouse, we start with Billionaire Mornings with the Minority Mastermind, 4:30 a.m. Mountain Time. It's super early. But the thing that we do is we get super hype. And what I realized that in these affirmations, because we say different affirmations every day, but there's this one affirmation that gets everybody excited. It gets everybody hype. Everybody. And what it says is that I am unfuckwithable. Repeat after me. I am unfuckwithable. I don't care who's around. It's really not a bad word. We didn't say a F-bomb. We said we are unfuckwithable. We said a U-bomb. Say it to yourself. Write it down. I am unfuckwithable. Because you are. And if you're not, after today's show, you'll be prepared. You'll be equipped. You'll be empowered to be unfuckwithable. Because I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways to increase your unfuckwithability. So are you ready? If you're ready, go ahead and type ready for me so I can know that I'm not alone. Are you ready to learn how you can be unfuckwithable? So first, let's talk about, what does it even mean to be unfuckwithable? To be unfuckwithable means that no matter what happens, no matter who happens, you're good. You're at peace. You're okay. Now, it doesn't mean that you won't sometimes get a little upset. It doesn't mean that sometimes you won't get a little tiffed. I don't know why tiffed has been my word lately, but it's my word right now. Yeah, but it's okay. And so we're going to talk about it, and we're going to start with number one. Number one is also an affirmation that we say every single morning at Billionaire Mornings on Clubhouse. We say, I am enough. So say that to yourself. If you can't shout it out loud, say it in your mind's eye, but it'd be better for it to come out of your mouth with your voice into your ears. I am enough. There's this lady that celebrities pay a whole lot of money to. And the only thing she does is she prances in there with her blonde hair and her hat. That's probably why I like her. And she tells them that they are enough, no matter who they are. And some of her clients are billionaires, millionaires who hate their lives, hate their mansions, hate their expensive cars, hate their 3 or 4 ex-wives. Until she tells them that you know that you are enough. She has this lipstick trick. Her name is Marissa Peer, in case you're wondering. But she says, take some lipstick and write it on the mirror. I am enough. Put it on the walls all around your house so you can be constantly reminded and constantly read it. Just don't put it there and ignore it, but read it. Put post-it notes. Get you some note cards. These are your best friend. 3x5 cards, note cards are the best friend. And put on there, I am enough. And remind yourself all day, every day, that you, love bug, are enough. Tell yourself in the mirror, you are enough. I am enough. Have a conversation with yourself. You talk to everybody else. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself. Motivate yourself. Encourage yourself and let yourself know that you are enough. Many of us don't feel like we're enough to do the job that we're in. Some of us don't feel like we're enough to fulfill the position that we're in, whether it is a professional or a personal position. There are men who don't feel like they're enough for their wives. There are women out here who don't feel like they're enough to even have a husband. But you are enough. Let me tell you, you are enough, love bug. You are more than enough. Tell yourself that I am more than enough. I am more than enough. Because you are. And when you claim that, that will increase your unfuckwithability. So number 2 on my list is forgiveness. Forgiveness is difficult, but it is, it's life-changing. Forgiveness is refreshing. It's regenerating. Do you know that people do a forgiveness exercise and then they can jump higher? It's crazy, right? But it's the truth. When I'm really going through a rough or tumultuous time, even if I'm going through a financial hurdle or whatever you want to call it, storm, I pull out my journal and I start writing forgiveness list. And I forgive as many people as I can come up with. I forgive them for everything that I can come up with. I just did some forgiveness this week. I did 2 whole pages on somebody. I did 2 whole pages on 2 somebodies. I did some more forgiveness today just to prepare for this show because I needed to show up unfuckwithable. I had to forgive myself. I did a page just on myself, and I can't wait to get back to it. You got to forgive yourself for some things that you have done, some things you have not done. Forgive yourself for some things you have said, some things that you failed to say. You have to do this. You have to. It's important because we have to move on in life. You sitting there mad about something and somebody else ain't studying you. They're not even studying that situation anymore. They have moved on. And only you are harboring on it, and you are allowing that to fester within you. And unforgiveness manifests in some very ugly medical, got to go to the doctor, maybe even have surgery type of ways. And yes, I know I only have on 1 earring. I don't know, somewhere in the last 15 minutes, I lost my Swarovski crystals around here somewhere. But listen, y'all, for real, we have to forgive. Make it your business to forgive at least one person every day. Make it your business to forgive one situation every day. Make it your business to forgive yourself for something every day. I don't care if it's something from a long time ago. Forgive, 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 and it will set you free. It's not about the other person. So don't go out trying to write forgiveness letters and handing out forgiveness letters talking about, I forgive you, honey. I forgive you for this. I forgive you for what you did to me. No, the forgiveness is about you. So you write all the forgiveness down so that way you can free up your heart. You can free up your spirit. You can free up that energy. And you know that your body holds on to this stuff. Your body holds on to those grudges. It definitely holds it in them hamstrings. So if you try to bend over and them hamstrings ain't letting you bend right, that's because you're probably holding on to some shit. I said we're only going to stick with one word, which is unfuckwithable. So let's continue to talk about how do we increase our unfuckwithability besides saying that I am enough, besides forgiving people and mostly forgiving ourselves. Whew. Just trust me, y'all gonna have pages. Don't think that you're gonna sit down one time and write this forgiveness list. This needs to go over a course of some days. Write on it a little bit every day. Take about 5 minutes to write some forgiveness. Forgive your parents. Forgive the children. Forgive your cousins and your siblings. Forgive your friends. Forgive your co-workers. Forgive God. Because I know you hold some grudges against God. Why did you let this happen to me? Why did you let this happen to such and such? We have to forgive God as well. Forgive the universe, whatever you call your higher power. So number 3 on my list to increase your unfuckwithability is to don't take things personal. Y'all know I'm a big, huge fan of the 4 agreements. If you work with me, then you must read the 4 agreements because I operate from that space. And it's challenging. That's why I love the 4th agreement, which is always do your best because it gives you a little grace on those days that you don't. But we cannot take things personal. When we're having a hard time with somebody, know that really it's them, it's not you. They are offering you an opportunity to heal. They're offering you an opportunity to grow, to maybe level up, to get a little wiser, to grow your patience possibly. You know, I call it character building experiences. But know that when somebody is having their own internal conflict, like we talked about earlier, it's going to make it very easy for them to be in conflict with you. So don't take it personal. Everybody's going through stuff. And it's okay. It's okay for us to go through stuff. It's part of life. Be ready to go through stuff. Be ready to hurt a little bit. Sometimes we got to open up some wounds just so we can heal them. We have to dig them out. We got to get to the root. And that's how we can be unfuckwithable because we know our stuff. We know what's going on. We know what's happening. We have to not take things personal because sometimes you're dealing with the little kid version of somebody. You're dealing with the 5-year-old version of them. I know they look like a whole grown person in front of you, but you're dealing with their little kid version. So again, for my people on IG, this phone is about to die. So you might want to hop on over to YouTube, to my YouTube channel where I'm going live as well. So go ahead and head over to YouTube, Mimi the Motivator. So the 4th thing on my list, we kind of already talked about a little bit today, but my 4th thing to increase your unfuckwithability is to meditate. When you meditate, especially if you start your day with meditation, and you start your day from a calm and centered place. So people can throw all kind of stuff at you. They can come at you all kind of ways, and you just kind of like look at them. That's how you gain that peace beyond understanding. And then please believe, when you have peace beyond understanding, people see that. They can recognize that. They see it because they're like, now I know she would have cussed me out. What just happened? When I did get high on Motivation Live, I must have been in my unfuckwithable mode because it was all kind of stuff going crazy and sideways. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, you were so calm. That's because I was unfuckwithable. I started my day from an unfuckwithable space. That's why we say that affirmation every single morning. I am unfuckwithable. You have to tell yourself. You have to tell yourself, program yourself to be unfuckwithable. So I don't want to run out of time. So I'm going to keep our list moving. But still, I got to go back to meditation because, like I said, I think y'all be sleeping on meditation. And I think sometimes when y'all think meditation, you think of some kind of monk sitting somewhere in crisscross applesauce, you know, in Gyan Mudra or something like that, or doing some kind of crazy yoga pose. That's not what meditation is about. So while we're talking about meditation, what I'm going to add on to this list is mindfulness. So we're going to say meditate and be mindful. Mindful means be present. So whatever you're doing, do it all the way. Be present. When we're stressed out, it's because we're not here right now. When we're suffering from anxiety or depression, anxiety is living in the future. Depression is living in the past. Be present. So if you're drinking some water, I can look at all the little dots and bubbles inside my water. I can look at all the little dents in my copper cup. Shout out to Kim Connor for the copper cup. Feel the water going down all the way, not just when it enters my mouth, but I'm feeling it right now and go throughout my body. That's being present. It's looking at everything in detail, paying attention to the fine detail of everything that is right in front of your face. Be present, be mindful. Everything can be a meditation. Life can be a meditation because all it is being present, being completely present with the people that you're around, being completely present in the situation that you're in. If you're writing with the ink pen, look at the ink pen, really look at the colors. Look at how the light is glimmering off of certain areas and not hitting other areas. That is being present. When you're that present, there's no way for you to be stressed. I have a trick for anxiety. I got a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First thing is I have to notice. I have to see 5 things. That's being present. The next thing I have to do is I have to hear 4 things. That's being present. When you're really listening to the different sounds in a room and in space, that's being present. Then it's number 3. I have to touch 3 things, feel 3 different textures. That's being present, feeling the difference in the textures. What's smooth, what's rough, what's a little bumpy. The next thing is to smell 2 different things. And please believe there's something to smell. Smell your skin, smell some chapstick. I don't care what you got to do. Smell the person next to you because I'm sure they smell different from you. And then number 1, taste something. Put a piece of candy in your mouth. But all of that is bringing you back to being present. Now I'm going to bring us back to our list of being how to be unfuckwithable. So the next thing on my list is to know thyself. As they said in Kemet or ancient Egypt, know thyself and to thyself be true. When you know yourself, can't nobody tell you about you. If you know that you are an honest person and somebody tries to call you a liar, that don't bother you. Somebody want to say, oh man, well, she's promiscuous, but you know you haven't had sex in 2 years. They can say what they want. That's part of being unfuckwithable. You don't care what other people say. It doesn't bother you. Like I said, that even goes back to even not taking things personal. And not taking things personal can go positive or negative. You don't need anybody's applause. You don't need anybody's approval. Let me tell you that. When you're unfuckwithable, you don't need anybody's applause. You don't need anybody's approval. And if they disapprove of you, you don't care. That is being unfuckwithable. You have to know who you are. Don't let nobody else tell you at all. If you letting other people define who you are, you are you are in trouble. Can't nobody define you but you. The only person who is responsible for defining you is you. Now, there are other people who will try to tell you about you. They'll try to define you to other people. That's their business. That's not your business. It is your business to define who you are to yourself first and walk in that. You need to walk like, talk like, act like who you believe yourself to be, not who other people believe you to be. Who do you believe yourself to be? Huh? Who do you believe yourself to be? How do you see you? That's what's more important than anything. Your self-image, how you see you, not how other people see you. When you don't care about how other people see you, you're okay with being weird. Because when people call you weird, all they're really saying is that you're being authentic, that you're being different, that you're being yourself. You're not being sheeple, that you're being an individual. It's a wonderful thing to just be yourself. It's a wonderful thing just to be yourself and yourself alone. Now, you might look crazy to some people. You might sound crazy to some people, but that's the people's problem because the people are sheeple and they're used to following the hips in front of them. They're used to doing what everybody else is doing whatever they see on TV, whatever they see on the ground. But when you walk in your own authenticity, you will be unfuckwithable. Think about a celebrity that you consider unfuckwithable, that just does their own thing no matter what the press says or whatever. I'm sure that's somebody that you might look up to because of that. You probably admire that about them. What it is that you admire about them is their unfuckwithability. And you can have the same unfuckwithability by following these simple things. The last and most important thing on the list is to love yourself. You have to love you. You must wake up every morning and say, I love you. Look yourself in the mirror, look yourself in the eye, and say your own name after those words. I love you. Call yourself by your whole name, your whole government name, and tell you that you love you. You have to also show you that you love you. You can't just tell you, you got to show you, because love is an action verb. Love is not something that we feel. We often confuse it as a feeling. Love is an action verb. What action do you have to back up the fact that you say that you love you? It's got to be on going and getting haircuts, getting your beard done, getting your nails done, getting your eyelashes. That's cute and all. But real self-love is really loving on yourself. When's the last time you gave yourself a kiss? It's okay. You can kiss yourself on the shoulder, kiss yourself on the hand, kiss yourself on the arm. When's the last time you gave yourself a high five? When's the last time you pat yourself on the back? When's the last time you hugged yourself? Because you need to love you. When you love you, it'll set the example for everybody else in your life. So you must love you. When you love you and you love on yourself, it will show to other people. It will show up in your boundaries, in your personal boundaries. Anybody know me? No, I'm not available on Mondays. You can't call me. You can't text me. I mean, you can, but I'm not available. The phone is on airplane mode. And I might turn it off if I got an iPhone, use it as being a little aggressive with me. Because I love myself that much that I have a self-care day every week. But at a minimum, have a self-care day once a month because you're worth it. You're worth every single day. You're worth having a self-care moment every single day. Love yourself that much. And when you start loving yourself that much, you will be unfuckwithable. So repeat after me. I am unfuckwithable. Say it again loud. You got to say it loud from your heart space, not just with your mouth. Say it with your whole body. Put your whole self in it. I am unfuckwithable. I am unfuckwithable. That's how we say it in the morning. So I dare you to join us for Clubhouse in the mornings, for Billionaire Mornings with the Minority Mastermind. We're there every morning, 4:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, just to make sure that we are unfuckwithable. So I hope these things have helped. I hope you wrote the list. If you joined in late, then make sure you catch the replay or go catch this podcast somewhere out there in music land. I thank you all. I love you all. I appreciate you all for every time that you tune in. I appreciate you for investing in yourself and loving yourself enough to show up. So keep showing up every single week. I love you. I'm here for you. Let's do this. Be happy. Be healthy. Be you. Be unfuckwithable. I am Mimi the Motivator, your favorite motivator's favorite motivator. And this is the Get High on Motivation Show. See you next week.